Hello, Lisa Richard here with Loving Energy Recharge, coming in to do the Inner Alchemy for May the 26th, leading us to the end of the month. We are in a process of 7 series of throat activations, and we are now stepping into the 4th of those 7 in this week. We are entering through gate number 16, which is known as the gate of selection. So this is referring to your human design, your gene keys. We also blend in Lightworker coaching and our ability as an intuitive channel to focus on the collective energy that is out there and help us assimilate it inside, which is the term for inner alchemy, to move from a lower vibrating energy up into a higher vibrating state. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. You may want to go back to watch a few of the previous ones to bring you up to speed on these series of throat activations that we are in. And it is really a process of what is termed your divine voice. So we are in the flow of the divine feminine right now, the flow of water, moving through this period of going through all 7 activations in the throat that are also linking us into the chakra system. So this started for us at the midway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, really bringing us into an alignment of our highest truth, moving us then through an opportunity through the root center to simplify, to do some decluttering, to get ourselves in a state of creating more space for contemplation, for self-actualization, to step into listening. This was a call for some deep, deep listening during this time and being aware of where our time and our energy goes. So as we stepped into the link into the sacral center in the beginning of May, this was where we really looked at our contribution. So in terms of your life force energy, where was that going towards? And was it in alignment to your highest good? Was it helping you to simplify your life? And if it wasn't, it was really then pulling back your power so that you would have more energy to be able to sit with yourself, to get clear and focused on applying all your resources to the correct direction. Last week, we moved ourselves into the solar plex, so still a throat activation through gate 20, but linking into the solar plex, which was all about willpower. And we were invited to look at our presence. So how we show up energetically in the world and what happens when we're not present. In other words, when we are having a conversation with somebody, but we're not really there. We're lost in our minds and our to-do lists and what we want to say. How does that affect that relationship? Or perhaps maybe you caught yourself an experience of driving somewhere and ending up in a place, but not recognizing how you got there, right? So we all go through these times where we shift into automatic pilot. You know you've had an incredibly busy day, you're exhausted, but if somebody asks you, what did you do today? You might be like, I don't know. I have no idea. So looking at presence, looking at your state of being, observing yourself, your patterns, your behaviors, where you are spending your time, your energy, your alignment to certain things, your awareness to certain things, checking back into the human body. That's a good way to put it, is really checking back in to be rooted and grounded in your humanness. So a lot of us that have found this channel, you're sensitive, you're empaths, you're gifted, you are in an active state of rising your vibration and or feeling something awaken inside of yourself. And it's stirring different shadow energies that are leaving you feeling discontent and dissatisfied. Those are all ways that the body is trying to talk to us to spend more time getting to know who you are. So we live in a world of lies. I'm going to put it that way because we have all been fed somebody else's beliefs, somebody else's stories, somebody else's perspective of how we should be and what we should do. And those have been passed down from generation after generation after generation after generation. Now, in that, there is still a huge amount of information that is going to feel correct for you. And that brings us into this week's energy, Gate 16, for those that are following along with the teachings of human design or the gene keys. And if you're new to human design, you want to get a copy of your birth chart, you can visit my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. There is a free Introduction to Human Design course there. You can follow your links to get your chart. And that's going to be a tool to help you to really get to know yourself. So Inner Alchemy is a combination of human design, the gene keys, Lightworker coaching, our ability to channel intuitively, and then really focus on how to bring in the collective energy inwards so that we can continue our path of ascension and move to that higher state of vibration. So we're in Gate 16, the fourth of the 7 throat activations, now tying us into the energy of the heart this week. This is known as the Gate of Selectivity. So think of that as life gives you a smorgasbord of opportunities. And you, the creator of your reality, your story, you get to select your ingredients, what you want to experience, all of those things that make up your life. And yes, there are events in life that we would say, I would never choose that to happen. Those are part of your predestined path or something that you were meant to go through in the highest form of love. And sometimes that can be very difficult to see it through that lens. So you have to see yourself on the other side of that and give yourself the respect, the love, the compassion that you need to have gone through what you went through. So we're looking at this in terms of more the day-to-day kind of things that we would spend our energy towards and we would accumulate and we would select. It brings us into the shadow of indifference, which means when we unplug from life and we're so busy and we're so depleted and exhausted and overwhelmed or beaten down, we stop trying, we stop fighting back, and we come into that shadow of indifference, which means we stop caring. That is a blockage in the heart. It's a blockage to the flow of love that is all around us. That heart center in your chakra system, in the teachings of human design, if you get to know your design really well, your birth chart, and I do offer birth chart readings, that little heart center is often the breeding ground for self-worth, self-esteem, self-awareness, value, tribal energy, so how we relate to the family. It ties into our ego, our willpower, our drive, our competitiveness, control. There's so many aspects in that tiny little center. And when we feel that life has hurt us, or people have betrayed us, or experiences have traumatized us, we self-protect. And the way we self-protect is we cover ourselves up from denying the true parts of us to step forward, which in return, we close down and we shut down from living life. We are in a shift right now, a time of the divine feminine, and I'm really looking at the picture of the rose behind me because that's symbolic of allowing that heart to reopen again, reminding each other the abilities to be vulnerable, compassionate, understanding, to offer forgiveness, but also to know that you deserve the utmost respect that there is. And that respect has to start with you. So we're in this gate of selectivity, gate number 16. We're moving through this shadow energy of indifference to see the areas of our life where we accept things that we know are hurtful and they're damaging to the heart of us, and they cause that heart to retract and close off from living life. And we're having to move through a dilemma, a challenge of lazy. Now, this means being honest with yourself and having those conversations of, if I know that behavior continuously hurts me, why am I not doing anything about it? So that is what they mean by lazy. It is accepting things that are detrimental to your health, your well-being, your inner truth, your emotional intelligence, who you are. Things that you would never do to another, so why do you allow them to be done upon you? And it really has nothing to do about the other person, because we are allowing it to happen. We are listening to the words that aren't true. We are filling our minds with the narrative of somebody else. We are applying our life force energy towards things that are depleting and draining us. So therefore, we have to claim back our power and say, I love and respect myself too much to allow this to continue. So this brings us into the gift aspect that is offered to us during this time, which is all about looking at versatility. And this is also going to come with the energy of enthusiasm. So this is learning to start to acknowledge what lights you up, what's going to keep your vibration in a higher state of flow, so you can call back more joy, more vitality, all those things to increase your motivation to make the necessary changes that you know are going to benefit you in the long run. So we also look at the gift of versatility, which means looking at your life, looking at the person you are today, the journey that you have undertaken, and almost creating a resume for yourself that acknowledges all your skills, your talents, the things that you have learned to do, the ways that you have gotten by, your resourcefulness, your entrepreneurship, your inventiveness, right? There's so many things that you have done that now feeds this toolbox that you have, where you can reach into that to remind yourself that you have so many ways and methods to navigate life. That is what it means by versatility. It's like the wildflowers out in nature. You can throw all these seeds to the wind and trust that wherever they land, they're going to root and they're going to grow and they're going to blossom as they're meant to be. We don't have to become experts in something before we can implement change. We are here to learn that there are many ways to do something. There are many ways to be creative, to express yourself, to be innovative, to inspire you, to be enthusiastic of, oh my God, I did that. I didn't think that I could, but I allowed myself to try. And now I'm getting back the rewards and the feelings of that accomplishment. So you want to start feeding that energy back into yourself, back into the heart of you, surrounding yourself by all the memories of all the things that you have done and the skills you have and the talents you have. This is linked to the channel of talent. Talent comes from the splenic center, which is your innate awareness that helps you get through the obstacles of life. So sometimes you don't even know how you did something, You just did it. You don't know where that courage came from, where that voice came from. You knew to move out of the way. You knew that didn't sound right. The body was telling you not to go in that direction. So even if you did still go in that direction, you can look back and go, but hey, I'm aware that my body knew not to go there. So that is a skill. Your awareness of your body knowing something is a skill. And we want to feed that body awareness. That is the divine feminine. We want to bring that back online so that you can really trust in yourself, your ability to discern the energy, to know what is healthy for you, what is not healthy for you, the correct way to apply your vital life force energy, to know the talk in your mind, whether it is feeding your heart or hurting your heart, and to flip it around and to purge yourself of all those things that you know are not your truth. You're not that individual. And we all have a past, and we've all made mistakes in the past, but it is the past. So can you imagine a world where as adults, we are still held responsible for what we did when we were 2, what we were 10, what we were 18, right? We all go through things in life. And yes, we have to make amends and ask for forgiveness and learn to choose ways that are not detrimental to ourselves and others. But we're also going through a process of learning and evolving and having to be compassionate with one another as we are going through those energies. So we don't need to feed that state of really being in that indifference to one another and no longer feeling compassionate or caring about the other person, feeling that disconnected, because we're all in this earth together. We are one in this experience. So it does matter. Your joy matters. Your enthusiasm matters. And if you've ever been in the presence of a motivational speaker, you can feel that energy. If you've ever been to a concert that you enjoy, you can feel that energy. You want to attune to those things that are rising your vibration. The ultimate gift in this energy, the ultimate potential as you are allowing yourself to rise and connect with your joy and your passion and your enthusiasm, and to look at all the skills you've acquired through life's experiences, is to come into mastery. Now, I'm a Reiki master teacher. And when I was first becoming a Reiki master, I struggled with that word until I was told what it truly means. When you step into a master, you are now ready to be taught. So when you think of the highest essence in here is mastery, and it's coming from your throat center, but linking into your heart, it means that you are mastering life and you're living life to the fullest extent, where your heart is opened and blossoming, and you're attuned and you're listening, and you are aware of your presence, you are aware of your effect, you are aware of all those higher vibrating energies that fill you up. And in doing that, the master is then sought after by others because they just want to be in your presence. Your presence emanates that joy, that compassion, that understanding, that assurance that it's safe to be yourself. And that is a great gift to humanity. So enjoy the energies. Notice the shadow, have an honest conversation with the shadow. But the most important thing is to start pulling in the gifts. It may be helpful if you want to Go back to listen to some of the previous week's videos and pull the gifts out of that to help you bring yourself into alignment of all these possibilities. I do offer private readings on my website. I have a service called I Can. So it's changing the I can. It's looking at your birth chart and those areas of conditioning, whether it is the open heart that is a sponge for self-esteem, self-worth, and value, or the head center that accumulates a lot of stories. Your birth information can tell us so much about your natural shadows, your fears, your sabotages, but more importantly, your gifts. So we all came into this world with shadows, with karma in our DNA, with fears, so that we can transcend them. And we transcend them by learning to trust in the wisdom of the body, the cellular wisdom. And as you hear your truth and you tune in to the higher vibrating energies of love and understanding and compassion, and you don't compromise by giving yourself away to the shadow energies, well, then you're building that deeper and deeper faith within yourself. And that is a very beautiful journey to walk. And it's also very human to be up and then fall back down and then rise yourself back up again. We are perfectly imperfect. So have fun in this energy, be gentle in this energy, know that we're in the heart. You might be hit with some areas of being reminded of words and ways that really depleted your self-esteem. For you to now sit with that as the person today and say, you know what? We are pretty damn friggin' awesome. And then look at the resume that you created with your versatility and your skills and go through all your accomplishments. It is so easy to go to the negative. So why can't it be easy to go to the positive? And sometimes we just have to retrain ourselves to have a visual so that it's easier for us to look at something and remind ourselves, I've done all these things and I'm so proud of this. So you feed your self-esteem, your confidence, your value, you bring that back online and you purge out those shadows from other people that are not yours to hold. So I send you all much, much love during this time. Open up that heart. Remind yourself that you're safe to be here. This is a beautiful time of ascension. And as we rise, we become more and more supportive to one another. Sending you all a most beautiful namaste, which simply means the light in me sees the light in you. Take care.